as which is needed for us. There is unavoidable for us. We cannot avoid the data either in any format, maybe in a file or maybe in a video clips or maybe in whatever the format, whether it is structure or semi-structure or unstructured. We are always dealing with that. Unknowingly, we never care about what kind of a data that we are accessing. So that is a truth that we accepted actually. So we are getting a video file in WhatsApp. We are directly use it, and then we forgot about what kind of a data is it, right? And what if I want to extract some data in my video that I'm viewing, which I received from my friend through WhatsApp? How can I do that, right? There are a lot of things, a lot of tools that we may need to use to convert this data in a consumer format to access it, to make use of it, and to try to find the customer behavior, right? In today's world, when you open any Facebook and you're getting a kind of a programs or a kind of videos or a kind of a short reels and everything, how it has happened. On the next day, you are just opening the Facebook, you are getting a similar kind of a pattern. How it is? These are all because there is a mechanism, there is a methodology that used by Facebook or the metaverse, kind of a personalization. Personalization is nothing but the behavior. It identifies your behavior, which subject or which area you're interested. For example, if you're interested in cricket, right, the next day if you're just opening your Facebook, you will see all the information related to cricket. What if your father he is interested in let's say on kind of the money market, the share market, and he opened his mobile. He used to see all the information related to share market. You can afraid or you can imagine. Did you imagine that why the same person, the same mobile connectivity, you are using only the same Facebook used by your father and you, that your perception, your interest is different than your father, right? See, think about that. It has happened around all over the world. The people getting the relevant information. This are all because of the personalization, right? Why I'm insisting the personalization here is, as for that, your data should be good enough to do this personalization, right? By understanding your information, getting your information via Facebook, understanding the right data, what the topic that you're interested, what the topic you're browsing, and how much you're browsing, right? These are all the information unknowingly that the algorithm will get retrieve the data from yours. The next day, it read out your mind and put the right content, right information to you, the right information to you only. It does not allow you either any other than other information you are not interested. That makes everyone to look into that Facebook or WhatsApp even hour and hour without knowing ourselves. Unknowingly, we are all into trap actually. It's a like a trap actually. So everyone is doing a trap. Okay, this is a different subject, although it seems like, but it is quite interesting that I am giving here on the data profiling. Okay, and on the data profiling, why I'm just stopping, just is stopping all because of this. You can see the ontology of data, right? We need to understand a little more about what it's about. As I said, in terms of volume, right? The data that deals with it today is there's a lot of volumes. We cannot scale our data, right? And also the value from the data, what kind of value you will get, right? And the veracity, you can't decide whether good or bad or right, the veracity and the visualization that will give a more insight about that visualization or what kind of a trend and how it is going, where it is going, a lot of things. And the variety, right, that you can see multiple variety of data. You can get a data in CSV, PDF, lot of other data, even in Excel, right? And the velocity, right, the real time, right? And if you are seeing your data in sports, right, you are getting immediately your quick informations immediately, the batsman is getting a run, immediately you will get the data in your browser. You are seeing this thing. You are nowhere in anywhere out of this place, but you are getting the information immediately on the real time look likes, like, right? And the viscosity, the data set changes often. Is it often changes, right? There are two things in the world: as one with the data is at rest, and one with the data at the motion. Predominantly, the data profiling that we talked about, the data at rest, not the data at the real time. That's a different story. And the virality is your data is ready to be published. When your data is ready to be published, until unless your data is cleansed and your data is error free, then only it is data can be published. And these are all things that we need to know. And the next thing is we discuss about the data profiling. It's very important actually. Whether you are dealing with a single data or a multiple column involved in a table or a data dependency between this table. For that single table, you need to know about the cardinalities, you need to know about the data types which is involved on the column and the value distributions, how your data is distributed. Let's say if a person, if in a classroom, there are 30 students whose mark is distributed in the buckets of 10 buckets, 0 to 10 into 10 buckets, and the split across it may be, especially the data points across 4 to 5 buckets, mostly the scores of the mark of the students. And the domain classification, you can do your students in terms of average, in terms of higher, in terms of low, like a classification. You can do it based on the marks with the label. And the correlations, how it is, the person who is studying more hours can score more score, and the person who is studying less hour or medium kind of an hour, he can the score appropriate to that. And the summaries, that will tell the number of students and the percentage of pass and the percentage of fail between each subject or overall the statistics. And it tells about the uniqueness of a person, and including if there is any dependencies, and if there is a functional. And it tells about if it is involved with kind of analysis with variables between two of the thing. Let's say number of hours equal to the marks, and that gives you a scatter plot with either a positive correlation or a negative correlation or no correlation. Positive correlation, I mean, the higher the number of hours studied by a student, the higher score by the same student. The number of hours which is lesser than the number of hours which is higher, the lesser hours spent by a student who's always score lesser mark, less mark in the subject. These are all things we need to know about this data. What if a person may not be score 200 marks? There is a something condition, right? It is always the mark should be 0 to 200. If not to be any person can score 200, which is imaginary. We need to remove this. We remove this data point actually data. And if there is any error, we need to remove that also. So before we are doing a data preparation, we confirm the data preparation is good enough. We need to cleanse the data error free and remove these null spaces and outliers. And then we are in the phase of data preparation. And the data preparation, we will do the modeling on dimensional model, dimension and fact. And during that model, we incorporate if there is any kind of traps, let's say sesame trap or fan trap or a loops, or any the cardinalities between the tables 1 to 1, 1 to n to 1, n to m, or if there is any multi-factor association, you need to resolve it. These are all things that you need to make yourself for a good data. So for all of this thing, data profiling is a very key essential activity that need to be done for any developer in today's world. And this is three phase in data set discovery, data exploration use case actually, with a single column profile and multi-column profile and use cases. As we discuss about a lot of the summarizes, we discuss about domain qualification, we discuss about in terms of grade 1, grade A, grade A, grade B, grade C, and the data type for a particular column should be followed across all the rows to pertain to a particular column. Let's say if your product there is a A001, which is ASCII, and there should not be any product with a numeric as 00001, right? And even if that is a falls under a data type of character, right? So it should be a meaningful that data set to adhere across all these rows to the particular column, and it should have patterns, and we discuss about the cardinality. And all this data set discoveries where we are get you source this data is from data lake actually. The data lake having a kind of a structure, semi-structured, unstructured data. So since we deal with structured data, we used to get the data and we used to do that as a discovery on that. And we need to cleanse the data, outliers, blank values, everything. That will make us to do a kind of a data exploration part where we can see the interdependency between table, interdependency among the object in the same table, and the association between the columns in the same table, and the clusters or outliers that we can identify that will be cleared out, and we'll get a summary out of it, and it will tell you what, how, where, all those kind of exploratory data analysis questions will be addressed over here. After then, we identify, cleanse, and transform the data. Then we say that our data is ready to for modeling and reporting with a visualization or chart. So now we understand the key essential of data profiling here. And this is nothing but a single core piece of code that involved with data profiling. Import pandas as PD and import pandas profile, the library as PDF. And we are plotting the parameter, and we are getting the CSV file, and we are displaying the profile report here actually. It's a 4 line of code. It's very easy for us and to do these pandas. And with a single line itself, we can show the Python pandas. We can show the data profiling here. That's it. We need to import the Python as pandas and import the profiling, and data should be invoked, the CSV file, and then data should be described. Just a second. And pandas profiling, we are doing the report. That's how we can see the data profiling here. And I would like to go ahead with a simple exercise on small things, how they are doing with the Python pandas here. And you can see three thing overview, bannings, and reproductions. And you can see the three things actually. The data set, the number of variables is 7, means number of columns is 7. Out of number of columns 7, 4 are category which are labeled 1, 3 are numeric data, and the number of observations nothing but number of rows here, number of missing cells, and missing cell percentage, duplicate rows and duplicate row percentage, total memory. And this give overall an idea, statistical information about data profiling, and the warnings that tell you about your distinct high distinct values, and it tells about the correlation. We discussed it more before, and it describes about the skewness and everything, how it is, and it give about your the analysis when it started, how the time it took for more hours, and all this thing. I hope this session is more useful for you. Will help you a lot. Thank you.